Basement Bookers Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Basement Bookers Podcast, YouTube show. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. My name is Basement Jer, and this is Rich the Riz. And before we go into detail on who Rich the Riz is, let me answer a question that you might be having right now. What is a basement booker? And a basement booker is the pro wrestling equivalent of an armchair quarterback. An armchair quarterback is like, you know, they're talking about the game. It's like, I would have taken him out here. I would have done this and I would have done that. He's that guy. But we're, you know, with basement booking, the booker handles the shit, you know, all the matches and whatnot, who goes over and whatnot. And then we have our own ideas. But more importantly, basements have been a huge part of our lives. And another thing, whenever they try to disparage us, they call us basement people. And that's why we've embraced the Basement Bookers Podcast for 9+ years. That's almost a decade the Basement Bookers Podcast have been that. I just wanted to get that out there and let you guys know about it. If you like this video, if you're down, throw up the thumbs up, hit subscribe, toss up the alert button, and you will not miss the word, the gospel of the Basement Bookers Podcast. But that's not important anymore because we got more important things. There has been a shift, a tectonic shift of molecular proportions. The perpetual motion machine has perpetually motioned himself by 25 seconds to the Basement Championship and what has to be the closest Basement Bookers Championship match in the history of the Basement Bookers. This has never happened before. It's never, ever been this close. Mere seconds. Shinsuke Nakamura's bitch ass couldn't give Basement Jer seconds, and it didn't happen. As you know, he is still silent, but he has a lot to say. But I have to get this out because I am not a humble man. I just need to let you all know this because it's very important. I have been the messiah of the tiebreaker. Like Roderick Strong. Adam is the messiah of the backbreaker. ROH legend, as he is known by himself. But this isn't about legends. This is about factual figures. This is about a real person. This is about Rich the Riz, in case of demonetization, in case this gets monetized by a miracle. Because of viewers like you, Rich the Riz, the floor is yours. I don't want to hear anything from me.
Thank you, bro. That was a fantastic introduction. Thank you very much. And as champion, for the first time it's been a while, okay? You had a fantastic run, as you always do. Congratulations on your title run. I couldn't have done this without you. So thank you for paving the way. Now, as champion, we, the tiebreaker, the this, the that, I am going to do my best to be a fighting champion. And what that means is, going forward, when we make our predictions, you know how typically you plead your case, you say, this is what I pick, and then I kind of just say,
yeah,
typically, yeah, I'll go with that. Going forward, I'm going to make it a point to, as time permits, make my picks in advance. I'm going to put my picks into my notes. I'm going to mark them down. They're going to be set. Still subject to change. However, at least there will be forethought, as opposed to sitting here. We mention a match, and I don't know who I'm going to pick until after Jared picks. So going forward, slightly new format. you guys, viewers, listeners, you're really not going to notice a difference, except you might see some more differences between me and Jer. We
We
still
have
are
a whole
going to need,
backlog.
right? You got a lot. If this is your first episode, feel free to don't go too far back. It gets scary. But
Stick to your YouTube ones.
yeah,
There you go.
Stick to the YouTube. That's the safest bet. But yeah, now no major differences, but we're still gonna need the tiebreaker in case like we pick two different matches and I win one and Jared wins one, so that we still gonna need a tiebreaker. Either way, that's all I want to say about that. We have a lot to talk about today, right, Jared?
That's right. Current basement champion Rich Deriz, as you are known to be called. Yes, we're gonna have to talk about three things. As the title says, CM Punk All Out of Payback. The official episode. Rich, I figure we should let's get the elephant out of the room. Let's talk about CM Punk. This way we're in the appropriate order. So we'll go CM Punk All Out, and then we'll talk about Payback.
All right.
Whoa, thank you, other basement chair. Current basement chair here with current Rich Deriz here. There. Sorry about that, you guys. It's just the universe. I haven't adjusted to this universe just yet because the other Jer's from another universe. So, anyway, without further ado, Rich Deriz with the CM Punk news.
All right. As we discussed last week, it's been a long few weeks, hasn't it, in wrestling? At All In, there was an incident, actually even before All In. Jack Perry described backstage wanting to use real glass in some segments, and a few people, including CM Punk, he wasn't the only one, told Jack Perry it's not a good idea. When Jer and I discussed that, we agreed using real glass is not a good idea.
For either of them.
Right. Now, Jack is in his early 20s. He didn't do a lot on the indies before getting signed to AEW and everything. So we understand you need to listen to the veterans. They're telling you to not use real glass for a reason. For instance, stuntmen in movies, right? Do they use real glass? No, they use the sugar glass.
Insurance, man.
Right. Now, they use sugar glass for a reason because what they do is already dangerous enough. You don't need to add the element of actual glass. So, All In happens. Jack Perry, he's set up with Hook on the car. He knocks on the windshield. He's like, "Real glass, cry me a river." And what happens? He gets put through the windshield, and his arm gets all shredded.
Who would have thunk it?
Right?
Impossible.
So, CM Punk, who apparently had some travel issues and made some bad choices during said travel issues.
He had to take the train like a plebe.
He chose to take the
trains.
train. I was able to confirm with someone in one of our Facebook groups for wrestling. In the UK, they have Uber.
Oh, why wouldn't they have Uber?
Well, the thing is, I don't know. But you don't know unless you ask. I asked. Someone said, yeah, I was just in the UK and I took an Uber. I was in Paris and I also took an Uber there. So, Phillip Brooks, Cry Me a River Punk, decided at the airport, Tony Khan, someone botched or whatever, no one provided transportation for him. So rather than taking an Uber, he decided to take the subway.
Okay.
Was he being cheap? Probably. Was there anything else that led to that decision? I don't know. It doesn't sound like a smart decision to take the subway when an Uber is an option in a foreign city,
Right.
Because what happened... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's not like he's in like the mean streets of Bath Beach or some such. You know what I mean? These ghetto hard streets.
Right. Now,
rockets coming in.
Yeah. So In taking the subway, he got himself lost.
Mm.
Now, you get lost is a waste of time, right?
Time you need to be prepping for your big day over at Wembley.
Exactly. So he wanted some pampering, didn't get it. Maybe it was stubbornness that he said, I'll take the metro. That's what they call it over there, by the way.
Stubbornness?
Or, like, I don't know. I don't know what made him take the subway instead of calling an Uber. Foreign
Yes, like,
city, don't
I'm a
know your
big
way around.
boy. I don't need you. I can take the subway like
Right.
a big boy.
Right. So, whatever. He got lost, got to the arena late. So he was in a not great mood. And then from his
Would you be?
perspective,
Would you be though? Honestly, like I felt like for some reason, like as I'm listening to this story, I'm
Mhm.
picturing you wearing your CM Punk shirt and you're wearing like the CM Punk wristbands and you're like doing like an acting, like like a dramatic like reenactment like they do on those TV shows for like America's Most Wanted or whatever.
am I staying there on the train platform like this?
Yeah, you're basically a caricature of CM Punk. And you're pouting as you're dragging your luggage and your bag to the metro.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, Rich, like that Rich, like that guy.
Mhm.
You're that
Yep.
guy. That's what I was picturing, man. You're so good at like in my mind, that's what I see. Pouting Phil.
Pouty Punk.
PP Phil. Because he's not
PP,
Punk
indeed.
anymore.
Right.
A lot of people that used to be punk rock, they're not so much punk rock really when it comes down to it. When the mystique is shattered, like that's
Mhm.
what the internet's done. The internet's exposed the fraudsters. It's exposed the posers. Like how like Rage Against the Machine used to be Rage Against the Machine. Now it's like
Mhm.
Rage for the Machine. It's like what happened to you? Instead of F you, I won't do what you tell me. It's F me. I'll just do what you tell me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Anyway, make punk again.
Yes, make punk again, but whatever. Either way.
That's
So,
that beaten path I was telling y'all about in the intro.
yeah.
When I typed in the YouTube thing. That's what I was
Mhm.
telling y'all about. This happens sometimes. Yeah.
So, Punk's not in the best of moods, and from his perspective, forgive the phrasing, but this little punk kid calls him out on international TV.
He went into business for himself.
Right.
That's a
Shredding his own
no-no, I thought.
shredding his own dumb arm. So,
That looked bad.
yeah. So after the match, Jack Perry gets backstage. I don't know if he went up to Punk, if Punk went up to him. There was some sort of
Punk went up to
altercation.
him,
Mhm.
according to most sources.
Mhm.
Most sources close to, around, or nowhere near the situation haven't told us really anything.
Mhm.
Because honestly, I'm looking forward to the eventual lawsuit so we can see the video and discovery. Because there's video.
Is there?
There's
Excellent.
video. Because Wembley is all camered up.
Mm.
So there's no way they don't have the footage, which is why I think this saga is not quite finished.
Mm.
I don't know if you're going to go into it, but verbiage such as fearing for your life, that sounds like legalese to me. It sounds like you're sprinkling some legalese. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, but Your Honor, I feared for my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what that's about is during the scuffle that happened, apparently some monitors started falling. I don't know if they had like one of those racks, like a storage rack, and they just had monitors on racks. Tony Khan was nearby. Maybe he was there trying to break it up or whatever. But like some monitors started falling, and to the point where it could have injured someone. Now he
Oh,
says monitors. I'm like one could assume it's like a visual monitor, but it could also be like there are speakers that are used as stage monitors. Those are big and heavy and bulky. That could kill someone if they landed on them. Like
okay.
one of these
Yeah.
monitors, very like a computer monitor. I'm pointing to you like as if you could see, but you can imagine there's a computer monitor over here, right? A computer monitor or like a video monitor, if it's an LCD, maybe hurt, possibly injure, unlikely to kill. One of the older production monitors like WWE used to have in the announce table.
Oh, I
that were like
remember
this.
those.
They were like.
They're like the TV you'd have in a kitchen back in the day with like a
Yeah, they were
VCR
like
attached to it.
they were like this deep and like this wide, that tall. That could kill someone. Those things are heavy.
Yeah, I
Especially
bet.
falling from like 4 feet. Can you
It
imagine? Or
doesn't take
more?
much. It's not so much like the weight of it or whatever. It can hit you at a specific spot and just
Right.
take you out.
Right.
So it's really
Right. So ultimately, it's it wasn't a good situation. Apparently, in UFC, we know Punk is 0-2, but I think backstage he's 2-0. He thinks.
I think he goozled the Jungle Boy.
Yeah. But
he said he could F him up anytime he wanted to.
Yeah. But as a result, as we know now, the former the leader of the Cult of Personality is now just a member of the Cult of Unemployment.
That's right, Rich Deriz. It was made official. When was that made official?
It was announced Wednesday on Dynamite. It might have actually been made official on Tuesday.
Now, Rich Deriz, since you've graced us with the semantics, the actual factuals, let's do some basement booking. Let's pretend we're in a world gone mad, baby. You got CM Punk. Facts be damned. What are we doing, baby? What are we doing in the WWE? How are we making money? How are we milking this? What is your first matchup for CM Punk in this crazy universe that does not exist for real? I'm putting all of these out here so you don't make me angry at you. So we're putting it out there. Do whatever we want with what we got. CM Punk. I don't care about the law. I don't care about Triple H. I don't care about Nick Khan. I don't care about anything. I don't care about contracts. I don't care about no competes. That's the syntax for this.
SmackDown calls out Roman. Sammy and KO come out. They're like, "Hey, buddy, long time no see. What you doing here? How you been? How was UFC? Yada yada, bullshit and catching up." But he's like, "Hey, I called out Roman. I want to fight the champ and prove he's not a tribal chief." Of course, Solo comes out. Solo is the first match, but Roman's the first feud, and Punk gets buried.
Okay. I like where your head is at. Can I add something to yours before I do mine?
Absolutely.
I'm doing this as a basement booker.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk is not there empty-handed. He has a velvet sack.
Mm-hmm.
So take that for what you will.
I love it.
So here's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was also thinking hot-shotting straight to the tribal chief.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought to myself, I don't know about that. What if L.A. Knight, comes out, just gentleman's agreement before they go out there. Here's what I'm going to do. Is this cool with you? CM Punk will be like, damn, all right, you spitting. LA Knight comes out there and he's spitting because what you're going to have here, we're going to do this in Chicago. We're going to do this in Chicago. We're going to do it. I believe Survivor Series is in Chicago. There's 2 Survivor Series teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One of the Survivor Series teams has a mystery partner. Speculation. Let the internet do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's CM Punk in Chicago. He shows up. He's the guy. Whatever happens there, happens. I don't care what the teams are. This is about the payoff because it's announced CM Punk will be at Monday Night Raw, which is also from Chicago, same place they did the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
it's sold out, whatever. Huge gate. CM Punk comes out, velvet sack.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say why he's there, what happened, whatever he has to say about what happened down wherever, whatever he's got to say. Then the megastar, L.A. Knight, like I said before, still applies.
Mm-hmm.
That gentleman's agreement, L.A. Knight just goes at CM Punk. Just like whatever, UFC, anything goes. Even like some side shots at EVPs or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then CM Punk fires back. He'll fire back with, best in the world. The real world's champion is who I am. Takes it out. And it's spray painted more to like, so that's not recognizable as AEW branding or anything like that. That he's the real world's champion. And then just have him feud with LA Knight. That'll be the first thing. You know what I'm saying? And this way you get a feel about what people feel about CM Punk, because they're going to ask Roman about CM Punk. How does Cody feel about CM Punk? How does Sami Zayn feel about CM Punk? How does Kevin Owens feel about CM Punk? The list. How does AJ Styles? How does Seth Rollins? Just think about all of these stories that are happening in the background around this LA Knight CM Punk thing, because he's got no connection to him whatsoever. So the interest had peaked in all these people that are in his orbit. That's how I would do it. And then, we could talk about the Cody. We could talk about the Roman. We have to do real world's champion. We have to do winner takes all. And then have Roman just annihilate CM Punk.
Yep.
Like, if you want singles match, if you want, he can stack them. Like, whatever. One-on-one is my preference. You know what I mean? However it happens, we can still protect everyone. Everyone can just do great. So much money, God. Oh my God. And we don't even know whoever the Survivor Series teams, they're affected too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because whoever brought him in, they brought him in. And it's like, with all that drama, it's like, look what you brought into here. Do you know what you can do to this company? This guy's a cancer. It just writes itself. Like,
yeah,
dude, Basement, book that shit.
Book it.
All right. 2 or 3 episodes of Battle of the Belts in one, kind of. And that's not saying that like as a critique or anything. It's just how I felt about it. Highlights. Miro and Hobbs. Meat. We'll talk about that in the meat segment. They get the meat segment. There's a brave Basement Booker listener out there, because we talk about meat slapping meat all the time. And I know we are of the same. We all love meat slapping meat. Like and subscribe for good vibes. All right. Done shilling. But yeah, Miro and Powerhouse. The whole Lana of it, I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to give it time. She is Meat Lover at CJ Perry, apparently, on Twitter. So whatever that means, I don't know if there's a gentleman agreement between Meat 1 and Meat 2, but that's none of my business. We're going to keep it pushing before I get in trouble with Riz, or the pig emoji comes on my face over here. It's like a pig that I would put here in the video editing software. It's going to be right here now. There you go. Sorry, bro. I had to do it to you. All right. So there it is. And the savagery of Brander Dander knows no bounds. Tormenting the dreams and nightmares of one dapper yapper down there, probably having PTSD, past traumas over that. Rich the Riz, your feelings about All Out before I drag this into the deep water, brother.
General feelings about All Out, like you said, kind of felt like a trifecta of Battle of the Belts. I kind of wanted to say, oh, the women had a great match, but that was actually it all in. Great, great for Saraya. I don't even remember if we talked about it.
We did.
It's been a very long 2 weeks in wrestling.
Oh, brother, I had to edit this stuff. You know it, brother. You know it. But we're here, baby. Let's stay on plan with All Out. Dude, did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you want to do like 1 out of 5? Whatever you want to do.
If we're doing 1 out of 5, I give it a solid 3.7. I'll say it delivered better than I expected, because on paper it was just this side of mid. But good stuff. Again, meat slapping meat. CJ Perry coming out. We don't know the story. I'm certain we're going to hear the story probably in some Miro vignettes, because he likes to talk about his hot flexible wife, and how he, like, whatever the story was, that like his God isn't letting him go back to her, but now she came to him and it looked like he was confused and rejected her. So what's happening?
You know what, dude? Since we're talking about it right now, that's going to be the first match we talk about. Right here. And that's how you transition a screen, brother.
Yeah.
So it's 2 meaty men slapping meat. Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs, Rich, as you were saying, with CJ Perry of it all, I believe that Miro is a strong believer in that women, like, if you were to empty your tank, as it were, PG, as it's to say, for or with or on or in or around a whatever your preference, can weaken the body. So he's trying to store up his seed, as it were, his resources, if you will, so he could fortify his constitution. And that's why he's down with this God shit, because he's trying to keep away from that stuff. Okay. He's not on any kind of hubs. He's taking away all extra sensory things and focusing on meat slapping meat, so he can slap meat on his way to the top of the card and become the AEW World Champion. I just cracked it. I cracked the code right here on the Basement Bookers podcast. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't, and I know you did. Be proud of that. That's high five for you. 50 basement dollars. All right, great, good, perfect. Before I ask you, Rich, about this match, your point of view, big happy birthday was yesterday. Manny is older than he was before. We're keeping it as vague as possible. We don't know if people want to know how old or young he is. Happy birthday, buddy. Thanks for checking out the Basement Bookers podcast. Never forget you, pal. Thank you so much. Rich, the Miro of it all, the Manny of it all, the meat slapping meat of it all. Do you agree or disagree? And have you practiced this technique that Miro is practicing? Obviously without the God stuff.
Sometimes I practice that. It doesn't always go as planned, but that's neither here nor there. Now, the meat slapping meat, I feel like the entire crowd there was on that page. They were chanting meat. They were chanting meat forever. And we were here for it.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, but don't get out of control.
Right.
Because sometimes we fans, it's too far and then it becomes cringe. You know what I mean? Let's pace ourselves. And when it's actual meat slapping meat, we have to have qualifiers.
Yeah. Like it can't be like Miro versus Orange Cassidy. That's just meat slapping Orange Cassidy. Sorry, Orange.
Meat slapping sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good promo from OC this week. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I love that his catchphrase is "I don't have a catchphrase."
I think his catchphrase is "I'm Orange Cassidy and I don't have a catchphrase."
Right.
If you
That's
think
it.
about it, right?
It is. It is.
But he gets a pass. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Anything else for this one? The confusion, or you good with this one?
The confusion we discussed. CJ, the chair, and which looks great as always. But I'm here for the storyline. I want to see where it goes. So belatedly talking about CM Punk, we now have the over budget charity battle royale. Why is it called over budget? Because they're actually under budget now, and Tony Khan is like, well, let me take some of the money I'm saving by not giving it to Phil and give it to charity. And who's gonna pick the charity? Whoever wins. And who won? The guy whose name rhymes with Christian Cage, and it's not Brian Cage, it's Hangman Page.
That's right, Hangman Page, who used his money. He decided to donate it to teachers
In Chicago specifically.
Because I was going to go to that. But Rich just, he knows that sometimes I don't have facts. So he had to make sure to get his shit in before it was his turn. But that's neither here nor there.
When you're the champion, Chicago need it.
When you're the champion and you have responsibilities to the children of Chicago that watch the Basement Bookers podcast with their parents' permission, but maybe not this one. I think we already cursed a lot. We're going to curse some more. Don't do that. Don't get this out of class. If you're in class, you got to put it in the headphones. Don't do this. Look, you got to pay attention. You really got to pay attention. Keep on to the math. That's important. Don't be like me. I'm stupid. I need my phone. I need it, or else I can't do the math. I could be tricked. You could put whatever you want on the register, and I'm robbed. So I probably shouldn't have told that to the people, but I'm going to now definitely have my calculator on me. Okay. People try to scam me. All right. So that's neither here nor there, but yeah, he did that, and good on him. We had to put this here because Christian Cage has been doing God's work. Okay. He's been putting the Nick Waynes of the world in their place. Okay. Because that's where they need to be in their place. The Wardlows. Okay. The Jack Perrys. He was right about Jack Perry.
He was.
Apparently. So
this commitment to this gimmick of just reminding kids whose fathers have passed that their fathers have passed in the most rude and insensitive ways possible is fun. I will admit it. I still don't like him as a wrestler. This character is fun.
I think he's capitalizing on what Vince thought about him back in the day. You know what I mean?
Creepy little bastard.
Yeah, and just the way he's just straight out just saying these disgusting, awful things about dead parents. That's the kind of person. This is look at this guy. This is the kind of person. Look at that face. This is the kind of face that those words would come out of. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's real method. It's very, very method. Christian Cage is method. I would go on to say that he's a better actor than Edge. Yeah, I think so. I said that. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, you're probably thinking about well, how would I know that? What?
Yeah, I never saw Haven or the Viking.
I think Christian Cage was in an episode of Haven. I'm pretty sure he was in one episode of Haven that I might have seen because my wife watched the show.
Coattail ride. Woo!
Yeah, but
your father's dead.
No, he's not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Whatever. Anyway, moving right along. Christian Cage, you dick.
All right, next up on the pre-show or the buy-in, whatever they were calling it, is the 6-woman tag match. We had Sky Blue and two of my non-favorites, Hikaru Shida and Willow Nightingale, defeating Athena, Mercedes Martinez, and Diamante. And Athena had Billy Starks with her. And we know I don't have time to watch Ring of Honor TV or whatever they're on. So there's something going on because we know Athena's a heel, Billy Starks is a face, and she's accompanying her to the ring. There's probably some sort of mentorship thing going on.
A mentorship program, like a big sister.
Yeah, they alluded to it on commentary, but didn't tell us what was happening, really.
I kind of like that. Like, I feel like if they were to incorporate more of like the good aspects of the AEW reality show, which I saw 5 minutes of, into their actual programming, like maybe like walk the fine line between kayfabe, brother, and you know what I'm saying, like make the locker room stuff really interesting. Because like if anything, the CM Punk stuff tells us we now need season 2. Like, how is this not like money to you?
Hmm.
Like, there's got to be something, some little fine print in that contract that says you can use like footage with him in it, however you damn well please. And you could have been doing a reality show. Like, what? What are we
Hmm.
doing? Like, why aren't we using our noggins?
Yeah. That was it All Access. I feel like next
That's
season
the
is going to
name.
focus on Jack Perry.
Oh yeah, even if they even keep him, you know what I mean? Like, we don't even know if he's still going to be working there.
I have a feeling he will.
Is he one of the friends?
I don't think so.
Maybe it's name recognition.
There's that, and
He's young.
he,
It's his first
right.
offense,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like from what I understand, and by the way, this match was fine. I think it highlighted a lot of people's strengths,
Hmm.
and weaknesses too, but not to the point where it was like glaring or whatever. Like it's not. I'm gonna 3.5. Kind of, we're doing 1 to 5 for that
Hmm.
match for me. If I had to do some kind of weird, people want ratings with numbers and stuff. Like I can't just say it was fine because people just like, what do you mean? That doesn't mean anything. There you go. There's your number. All
Yeah.
right.
What level of fine? My level of fine is
Sky blue.
3.4.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh yes, number wise, yeah. Okay.
Sky. I mean, Sky Blue is a 10.
I mean, I was thinking like fine, like with soul in it. You know, like fine. You know,
Yeah,
like a
she fine.
fine, like fine.
She fine.
Like you could say that. You could say that. I'm just kidding. I'm doing this for a broadcast. I don't mean that. You know,
I could
obviously.
say that.
Yeah. So
She's fine.
I'm just being I'm just saying. He said that. Like he said. All right. Great. So we ready for the next one?
I think so, but I think I just had an idea for my next birthday cake.
Actual cake. Now that I could get behind.
All right, next up we had a 6-man tag match for the AEW, gotta specify because it's ROH also, trios titles. Now, I'm going to be honest, I kind of was ADD'd for this match, and I didn't realize this match was only going to go 6 minutes. But it was the Acclaimed and, Bowens, Caster, and Billy Gunn with Dennis Rodman. I don't know why.
There's no explanation.
Right.
I didn't catch Collision. So I don't even know, dude. Dennis Rodman was there to fill the void left by CM Punk. Think about it. To fill the gap that is CM Punk, they just inserted Dennis Rodman. Wow, that was easy. All right, moving right along. Match good. Jer bad.
Who they face? Because you didn't let me say.
Triple J.
Yes. It was Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Jay Lethal with Sanjay Dutt and Karen Jarrett.
What can be said about Karen Jarrett that hasn't been said before? Really, Max Caster's really said all he's had to say about that, and I'd go with the rap. That's how I feel, and that's a wrap. Speaking of rap, there's really no rapping here.
Correct.
There is an R in ROH.
Right.
Titles.
Right. Ring of Honor tag titles. Better Than You, baby. Defending against Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver. That match went 14 minutes.
Apparently, like the Dark Order's getting serious now, according to commentary.
Good.
A lot good it did them. I learned that Reynolds helped to train MJF early on in his career. So that's why he tried to do sportsmanship with him. So that's something that I know. Take that. People getting mad at me for not seeing things. I saw that. The story is, MJF's neck now. And boy, the Oscar caliber neck acting is just chef's kiss. Not really, Maxie boy. You got to take it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. You get too whiny and bitchy for a face. Okay. You're not a heel anymore. Let's, I get it. I get it. But, Adam, listen. All right. I'll bring it up. So, related to this, MJF's on the way out. Samoa Joe's on the way in. Samoa Joe does the thing. Now, we've discussed this ad nauseum on the Basement Bookers podcast, but this might be your first ever episode. At one point in Brooklyn, on Joe's entrance to NXT, a young Maxwell Jacob Freeman was shoved unceremoniously. And as soon as Joe was headed to AEW, Rich Torres has been sitting there salivating over that coming up. And it's finally come to fruition. Now you might be saying, Basement Chair, what are your feelings on this? My feelings are, he did the thing. Look, guys, he did the thing. Oh, he's doing the thing because it's MJF, and you know he's going to do the thing. It's always got to be to whoever wronged him in the past. It's look at me where I am now. Wembley dibbity do. I'm the big champion. You're the little. You can't call me kid anymore. Look, guys, don't get mad at me. Okay, I know he's our scumbag. I'm just expressing an opinion. I like the guy. We're practically cousins. I've lived in Brooklyn my whole life. We're cousins, kind of distant cousins. So I don't mind MJF. And plus, I'm a poor. He would hate me. So, like you guys, he really doesn't like us. But he's our scumbag. But listen, I just want to say, I saw all this coming. It's no shock to me. It's like he's got it in his contract. I get to get into an angle with people that maybe didn't treat me so good when I was a little MJF. And I get to tag team with Adam Cole because he's my hero. And I want to be best friends with Adam Cole. And I want Roderick Strong to be whiny little Adam. He's perfect for that role. He's perfect. Good job, MJF. I've turned around fully. What a manic review on that, boy.
So, I never thought I'd say this. I love what they're doing with Roddy. I do.
This podcast is full of revelations, people. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of moving and shaking. I don't know what's happened. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm starting to think we've actually slipped into an alternate dimension.
I like to think that as champion, I've grown, right? I've grown as a person. I still hate Roddy's acting, but this character that they're doing, the way he is portraying it, I love it. Poor Roddy with the neck brace, kicking the car. Adam.
He's got the right to be upset. The story is that Adam Cole was more concerned about MJF's neck than he was about poor Ring of Honor legend Roderick Strong and his neck. Unbelievable.
I love it.
I love
it.
There's supposed to be a brotherhood, Rich. There is in wrestling, with the Ring of Honor.
So I feel like this is going to be like a resurgence for the Kingdom. Roddy's going to join the Kingdom. I don't know if they're going to get a fourth. They often have four. They don't always have four. But I still don't like Roddy's acting. I've said that. I still don't like his delivery. But the Adam, it's like the only thing he does really well, and he does it really, really well.
I'll do you one better. Secret fourth man. It's revealed to be the other one. What's the other one? Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh.
And it'll be Kyle O'Reilly doing the worst impression of himself. You know how Roderick Strong right now is the worst, but it's definitely the best. Really leaning into his dorkiness. Just have Roderick Strong lean into that weird freaking look at me in my jean vest jacket and my stupid band shirt freaking have him act like the worst metalhead. You're just like, Adam, you turned your back on your bros or whatever you got to do. Like, I don't care. Just get him to be that ridiculous.
Kyle O'Reilly doing Kyle O'Reilly.
But the worst Kyle O'Reilly.
Jason Newsted.
Yes. Do that. Do that. And it's perfect. I'm telling you guys, you got money here.
Wait a second. This Roddy is like Lars.
Dude.
He's whiny. He's bitchy for no reason. Kingdom is Metallica.
Wow. But the worst version of Metallica.
Yeah, the ones that killed Napster.
Dude, they should have Roddy bitch about Napster just randomly out of nowhere.
I feel like that.
And then you'll have like the old people be like Tony Schiavone be like, I know what that is.
Oh, yes, yes.
Or you'd be like, even I know that's dated.
Yeah.
That's basement booking.
Dude, this is great. I love this Kingdom. I love the Metallica Kingdom.
The best version of Kingdom is the worst version of Metallica.
Yes.
Fucking A. All right. So, now that we actually have stuff that I prepared for, Samoa Joe takes on Shane Taylor in this epic contest. Not so much meat slapping meat, but like if you were to like walk down the street, right? And you saw Shane Taylor looking at you like Shane Taylor is in this image right here. You'd cross the street. But guess what? You cross the street, and then there's another gentleman walking towards you that looks like Samoa Joe. What the fuck are you supposed to do now?
Turning the fuck around.
You walk in the street because it's safer in the street with traffic than it is against either one of these probably really nice guys, but look very scary. I did not see, as soon as that happened with Samoa Joe and MJF, this only went one way. This went Samoa Joe dominating Shane Taylor. And that's what happened.
Second shortest match on the entire card at 6 minutes, 25 seconds.
We appreciate the work rate. We appreciate the hard-hitting pain. But Samoa Joe did what Samoa Joe do. And that was an end for Shane Taylor. You want to go night-night? I don't know. Say something to Samoa Joe.
Thank you, Samoa Joe.
If Samoa Joe beats MJF for the World Championship, which he won't, because like I said, it's the MJF You Were Mean to Me revenge tour. It's in his contract. So he's going to beat anyone that's in that spot. They just lose. There's no way around it. I really wish they'd give it to Joe, especially with hearing that he's like a locker room leader and like he handled that Punk situation. That he, I don't know, at least something. But you know what? He's the king of TV allegedly. So that's something.
That's right.
You know, that's not nothing. These titles mean something. He beat people. He beat people up.
Yep.
He just ask Shane Taylor about Samoa Joe.
Is he awake yet?
Ask MJF about Samoa Joe. And he didn't even fully assault him. He only got half the Samoa Joe experience. Half. You know what? I go off and say a quarter. He got a quarter of the Samoa Joe experience.
Next up for the TNT Championship, we had Christian Cage accompanying the actual TNT champion, Luchasaurus, against Darby Allin, who had Nick Wayne with him. Of course, we had the Christian Cage, Nick Wayne. You had a father, but your father's dead. And to be honest, I don't really remember the match, but Luchasaurus won.
Yeah, Luchasaurus defeated Darby Allin. I believe he was empowered. He was empowered from the essence of Christian Cage, absorbing the ire and negativity of the fans just by his mere presence. That turtleneck elicits a lot of negative feelings. Surely he is not on the level of Dominic Mysterio because somehow Christian Cage is more likable than Dominic Mysterio. Let that sit in. Let's let it in. Let it sink in. Just take that in. Just breathe it in. And remember, Rhea Ripley is playing a role. So she is the best actress in the history of women's wrestling. I just want to say that. That's neither here nor there.
Regarding Christian Cage,
Yes.
and just to sort of explain where I'm deriving this from, CM Punk for a little while was known as the voice of the voiceless. I feel like Christian Cage would be the opposite of the father of the fatherless. He's more of the motherfucker of the fatherless.
A predator of the fatherless, if you will. Yeah.
The
Look at him.
deviant.
Just look at him. He's exuding in this image, right?
Mhm.
Exactly what Vince McMahon knew all along. And because Christian Cage is leading into this, Vince wins again. You're welcome, Tony Khan. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because Vince McMahon psychologically tormented Christian Cage, you get to benefit. Look at that. We're all benefiting from this. We're benefiting from this. Thank you, Vince. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Vince.
You did a lot of things that aren't cool, but this is not cool, but in a way that it helps everybody. There's a lot of people that smile because of Christian Cage. As many people that frown or cry or feel like disrespected or hurt by Christian Cage, I feel like that many people feel good because somebody made a video and it's Christian Cage's definitive theme song. I think it's because your father's dead. Okay. And it's great. It's out there on the internet. You can find it. And it's funny. It's really funny. So I love the internet when people make cool shit like that. So just think his song, but all his promos talking about people's like fathers being dead. I had a different title for it, but I can't say it on YouTube. It's related to the past, and I can't say it here because it would get us canceled. So I'm not going to say it. So I've told you, Rich, in Messenger. You've seen it in Messenger. The title, what I would call Christian Cage's song, it's like your father's dead because you're. So we'll just leave that blank, and also so F you. That would be cool too. That band would definitely do that song. So
Yep.
that's an AC song for sure. And Christian Cage would be the poster child. Okay, so
Rest in peace, Seth Putnam. Damn it.
that's right. Also, I want to say, as regards to this match, because I didn't say shit, that's fine. Like I said, Christian Cage is, magnetism of heat and disgust from people, empowered Luchasaurus, and it showed because he killed Darby Allin. I think that's why they have him around so much because he's really good at getting beat up, which is pretty cool. That's a good talent.
It's probably
And he
because he's
seems
already
to
half
like
dead.
it. Look at that. He's half dead. It's his gimmick. I'm not saying it. That's his gimmick. He's like little Dark Man. He's like little half Dark Man because Dark Man, his nerves are dead, so he doesn't feel anything. So maybe where the paint is doesn't matter, right? Because paint don't matter when you're in the ground.
As the face paint wears off, he starts to feel that part of the body. So the more paint wears off, the more likely he is to lose the match.
Dude, that is so cool. That means that the heels should make it a point. I think Chris Jericho's done it. That's a Chris Jericho thing to do, where they smudge up their face paint or whatever, and make that a thing that they do. And it's
Orton
no,
also.
he's rubbing off the paint. He's it's Darby out. Whatever Excalibur has to expels from his mouth to make it work. Let him do that because he's really good at that. So let him handle it. I'm not good at that. So let that be another thing that they can do. Plus, it's distressing. It upsets kids. I bet it upsets kids. It's got to.
Yep.
If it upsets kids in wressling, you got to do it. You got to upset them. You got to get them pissed off because then they're going to root really hard for the guy that's beating you up. It's psychological, dude. It's 101. It's a morality play. Let's do this. This match is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the AEW TBS Championship. Chris Statlander, who is channeling her best Derek Zoolander. If you didn't know, you know now. It's an old movie, kids. Some of you might not have been around for that. But here we have it. Ruby Soho, resident mean girl with an L on her forehead, who was thus served an L by Statlander with a little bit. There was a lot of chicanery going around. There was Paige out there looking like her best self there with her belt, leopard print pants and whatnot out there trying to take care of her girl, Ruby Soho. She looks great with that AEW World Championship that she won it all in case you didn't know, if you were overshadowed by the CM Punk of it all. Thank you, selfish Phil. Anyway, way to make it about yourself, brother. I'm just kidding. We're all right. We want CM Punk to make money here. All right. You heard what we want to do back there when we were booking. We booked it. All right. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is the erratic Tony Storm has involved herself. There was going to be some spray paint, but no spray paint because she got involved and Statlander got the dub with the move that she do. This match gets 3.5 because why not? Chris Statlander was there, and she beat Ruby Soho, who I also kind of think is great. She's a good human, so I root for her. Kind of wish she'd win the big one time.
It would be nice. It would be nice. For me, Toni Storm's participation and her delivery, her performance of this starlet character.
Watch the show.
Tits out. You heard that on Dynamite, right?
Yeah, dude. I watched AEW Dynamite. I'm a young buck. Okay. It's tattooed in the inside of my skin. It's still healing. I don't want to show the people.
Okay. Like my John Cena tattoo?
Yeah. And my Kenny Omega tattoo. It's actually across my chest. But, I can't show it on camera,
Right. So Toni Storm bumps this match to a 3.8 for me. This Toni Storm, I love it. It's a brand new character. We've seen it evolve over the past 3-4 weeks, maybe. Not even. Kind of not even, but it's gotten better / deeper since Saraya won the world title. I love it. I love this Toni Storm. She's a little crazy. She's throwing her shoe at Renee.
I mean, it's just nice when someone has a character at all, I guess. It's not exactly revolutionary for me, but I like it, even though it's one of those things where you look at it's what did you do something with your hair? Someone's like, hey, you know what you look like? And you're like, and then it becomes this great thing. So, you know what I mean? So it's just nice that there's a character. And, that we have to, the fact that we have to treat that it's a nice little treat. It's kind of you know what I mean? But it's nice to have a little surprise there, Roderick Strong, he's making a character.
Adam!
Ruby's got a character. I'm not sure what Chris Statlander's doing. She's the TBS champion. She's human.
She's the one that she speaks ASL. I know this means champion.
Yeah, I saw that. She's okay, but Sign Gal, that sounds like a tag team partner for Sign Guy. But either way, she's great. She's fantastic. I just think outside of, if we're talking about characters, Ruby's got a character, her thing is her thing,
And Statlander, she squats interviewers.
Yeah, she's strong woman. All right, we could do that. I'm down with that.
Brolic Stat.
This match is scheduled for one fall out. This is Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryanson, Ricky Starks, baby, in the trauma of the Dapper Yapper being revisited upon him in a nightmare scenario. More blood, more guts. Everything Bryan Danielson loves. I am convinced, Rich Torres, that Bryan Danielson is not like Miro. He's not like you. He's not like me. He's not turned on by the opposite sex, Rich Torres. No, he needs blood. He needs lots of blood. I've never seen a man more happy to be bloodied than Jon Moxley later on in the show itself. Like, if you just look at this man, he's just loving the blood. At the rampway, in the match, you could just see it in his face. It's euphoric. It's orgasmic. He filled a cup. I'm pretty sure. That looked like a man that filled a cup, and it wasn't over anything but the blood. Those Blackpool Combat boys are out of their minds. Rich Derriz, what have you?
A lot of blood, as you just mentioned. Lot of blood. I wonder
Bloody
if
strap match.
I wonder if Moxley's bloodlust is contagious.
Dude, I'm starting to believe it's always been there for Daniel Bryanson. He's always wanted to do stuff like that, and they won't let him. Like, you've heard the stories. He always wants to have blood in his matches.
Crazy.
Like, maybe if you weren't so, like, I don't know, prone to concussions at the time, like you could probably get away with it. But like, if you have like a reputation for being like, I don't know, to the point where you shouldn't be doing it anymore, you know what I mean? But thank God you got better, you know. But like, you probably couldn't. Like, I would understand if someone's nervous about letting him do certain things, you know.
Yeah.
But he seemed fine here. He's in his element. What am I gonna do? I'm not his fucking father. Christian Cage knows, but I'm not saying anything about that.
That's right. We did report on that.
Dude,
way back.
I'm starting to think that Cody is not the only final boss. I mean, for Christian Cage. Could you imagine trying that shit with Bryan Danielson, who's like so grounded in reality and facts? That's not going to bother him. He doesn't give a shit. He's just going to beat the fuck out of Christian Cage. He's like, yeah, he is. So he's giving back to the earth. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And Christian Cage has nothing. You know, he's just like literally nothing.
Bryan Danielson's dad is feeding some trees right now, and Danielson is happy about it.
Yeah. Ricky Starks passed out, Rich.
He did. And poor Justin Roberts probably didn't sleep well that night.
All around me are a million faces. You know, it's just in his head. It's a mad world, brother.
Next up, we had the Blackpool Combat Club, represented by Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, versus Eddie Kingston and Katsuyori Shibata. Unfortunately for me, this is another match I kind of either mentally zoned out for, or it's just been, like I said, a very long week. Very long 2 weeks for pro wrestling.
It's hard, dude. You work hard. You commute between your jobs. You know what I'm saying? And then like the wrestling on top of wrestling, on top of wrestling,
so many
on top
hours.
of wrestling, so many hours. It's like it's a lot of subtraction, you know, and then we subtract that and we try to make a plus out of this. So let's do this. This match had everything. It had Eddie Kingston slapping the machine gun chops that I'm really getting sick of. We got Shibata, who's just one of the, if not most respected legends in all of Japan. Definitely a top 10 all-time talent out there in the land of the rising sun. Claudio Castagnoli, he's run championships all over the world. Pound per pound, one of maybe, if not probably the strongest, depending on who we're booking him against, people on the roster, obviously. And of course, not to be left out, their referee. The referee for that match, which was, of course, I don't know, but it was supposed to be a joke. I really was trying to remember, but no, here's Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta has also won championships in Ring of Honor. And what a chin. He's got a chin, man. You know what? Say what you want about Wheeler Yuta. or don't, because most times they don't, but some do. And when you do, that chin looks like it can take a fucking shot. Like that's a chin.
Mm-hmm.
That man is is a chin. He's all chin. Okay. Some people
All
called
chin.
some people called it all in. But when Wheeler Yuta, when he's involved anywhere, it's all chin. All chin, Wheeler Yuta. Pro wrestling tees. Just give us a cut. It's just a cover production. You will sell so many shirts. It will definitely be. It's a drop in the bucket for you. You got nothing to lose. Just fucking do it. That's all I gotta say about those gentlemen and this match. 3 out of 5, everybody, and earned every piece of meat thrown towards it. This is not meat slapping meat. Eddie Kingston, he's just fat. And when I say that, I mean that with fear in my mouth, because I am a little chubby, but not all around. Like it's not balanced out. You know what I'm saying? At least he's got enough where his homicidal nature can take me out without a moment's notice. So I just want you to know that I fear Eddie Kingston. I don't want that smoke. I'm just talking shit on a podcast. I'm just a monk. I don't know. Please don't hurt me. A lot of respect for Eddie Kingston. I've seen this man. He could fit in anywhere, which means you won't know. You won't know he's standing behind you. And when you turn around, it's going to be too late, Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be too late. Because it ain't going to be motor oil dripping out the top of your head when Eddie Kingston's done.
Yep. So the Combat Club won this with a European uppercut on Eddie Kingston.
It's about time. It's about time the European uppercut was given the respect it deserves.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to say, I wonder if that's an Eddie Kingston idea. Let the finish be a European uppercut. Who cares?
Put the move over, man. Come on.
Who cares? I don't know. Like that. Who cares? I don't know. I don't know nothing. Let's do it. I don't know.
Our
I'm that kind of guy.
Our interaction with Eddie Kingston at that show was great.
You know my autograph.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one wants my autograph.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna fight him on that. That's how scared I was. Like, no, I don't. You said I don't.
Next up, we had Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Bagad. Oh, mega.
I really like his theme music. I'm not gonna lie.
Kenny?
It gets stuck in my head. Yeah, it's
pretty
very
good.
like video game. You know, I
Yeah.
really enjoy it.
It's on brand.
Yeah. I wonder if I could play it during streams so I could just have it playing in the background because I love it when it comes up in Fight Forever. It's like my favorite. I'm about to take out every other song except his and the 8-bit version, and that'll be the only thing I hear because they play too many bad songs.
Yeah, I remember watching you play some of it, and it's like, what? This isn't on TV. What is the song? It's bad. Anyway, so we had an appearance from Don Callis' best friend, the Screwdriver, which, I mean, it makes sense because he loves screwing people.
It used to be my best friend, but then the hangovers came.
Yes. So, yeah, we had some Screwdriver shenanigans. V-trigger, but Takeshita took the Screwdriver. Ref saw him take the Screwdriver, and then Takeshita beats Kenny with a running knee. Yippee-doo.
They're really high on this Takeshita guy. He's got a dub over Kenny Omega, Screwdriver or no?
Two
Well,
wins over Kenny in a week.
Yeah, this is Kenny trying to build new talent, I think. This looks like Kenny Omega written all over it. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I like the relationship between Takeshita and Callis. I feel like it's very 80s movie almost. It's like you had this fighter, you were with him the whole time, and then like the rift comes and you feel like he really tore out your heart, he cast you away, and then you find this other young talent that you could raise up. You want to build this other fighter to beat the other fighter that like so hurt your feelings like so deeply, and you don't care how. Like that's beautiful. That's pro wrestling. So that bumps this up to a 4 with the 4 stars for Chi-Town over there. Definitely that was a 4 for that for me, simply on the storytelling aspect of it.
I love how strongly Don Callis leans into every character he does, particularly he's so good at being a heel. He is so unlikable. It's really good. And I really think he uses makeup on that scar every week to make it more pronounced than it normally is, because that's a dark scar.
Yeah. Could you imagine if like they did an angle in this mysterious universe we just created, the one we were talking about where CM Punk is back in WWE, but like in this one, Dominic Mysterio winds up on AEW with Don Callis as his manager. And he's feuding with Buddy Murphy, right? And Buddy Murphy is also a heel, and for some reason has Vicky Guerrero in his corner. Now, just imagine them just trying to speak. Like, that's a lot of heat.
I feel like we go back to like the 70s and the fans would just riot.
Yeah, right. It's like, wait up, get rid of that forever. that insufferable. That's actually too much insufferableness under like one roof.
I think they're lowering Dom's microphone when he talks also.
Dude, it's the opposite of piping in the crowd, right?
Yup.
They
like they're all gonna boo you when you start talking. We're gonna make it more pronounced by just lowering the volume on your microphone.
They hate him everywhere. Like the fact that I would go far as to say that the majority of the audience are simps for Rhea Ripley, and it makes it even worse that that Dominic Mysterio's there. You know what I'm saying? Like they hate him already, and now they got this. You know, they already feel like he's a spoiled, entitled piece of shit. And then he's like with the best girl in some people's opinions. And it's like, oh, this guy sucks. I hate him. You know what I mean? And that's good heat.
Yeah, it's this fucking guy heat.
For somebody to have that kind of reaction anyway. Like if that was a face pop, that's almost like the heel vert. Like it's like a John Cena pop, but like for a bad guy, you know, but that's that kind of heat that he's got.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like CM Punk in Chicago during the WWE days.
Yep. But the opposite.
Yeah. You probably couldn't hear yourself think.
Next up in our co-main event of the evening. It wasn't billed as that. AEW doesn't seem to bill co-main events, but whatever. It's what it was. The Bang Bang Gang versus FTR Bucks, and
Buckfucker.
I'm not a fan of the Bucks. I like what the Guns are doing.
Are you like this? Are you like Dax?
Like this.
Got you.
Guns up. Jay White.
Oh.
Jay White is so good on the mic.
For a second there, I thought you were talking about Cash Wheeler. But
no, because then it would be that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Guns up. Jay White is great on the microphone and great in the ring. Juice Robinson, I can't even explain what this character is other than wacky caveman looking dude, right?
All the character in the group is Juice Robinson, I think. I gotta say,
Jay White has a bit too. So Jay White is doing his own thing while Juice Robinson is doing Super Juice Robinson. Plus, he has what do they call him? Card Blade Jay White that he carries around.
Yeah, you know how in a painting, right? Just to express what I'm trying to say, like Jay White is like the main focus of the portrait here that's being painted, right? But then you're looking at it and you're like, this needs something. And I feel like that something is what Juice Robinson brings for the table. That's what I was trying to say. So like he kind of makes it pop makes the painting, the portrait pop is what he does there. I'm not saying that Jay's not good. I'm just saying that that little extra, that Juice Robinson makes the portrait.
So I used to buy cookies from a buddy of mine who makes very good cookies, by the way. And like there was something about them that seemed familiar, and like it seemed like it was emphasized. I'm like, what makes this so good? And he told me one day, it's like before you slap the cookies onto the cookie sheet, right? You put a layer of salt down so that the bottom of the cookies have salt on them. Salt enhances the perception of the sweetness.
Are you
Juice
saying Juice is
Juice
the
Robinson
salty?
Juice Robinson is the salt to Jay White's sweet. Not saying he's sweet, but that sort of complementariness that they do for each other is what Juice and Jay got going on.
Rich the Riz is the salty and the sweet.
It is.
Do you remember the salty and the sweet?
The salty
This all
and the
goes
sweet.
back.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Excellent. 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 We're right about this. We're right about this, Rich Torres. It's booked.
It's booked. So
Sweet
this
and
match,
salty.
yeah,
That's the name of the tag.
yeah. There we go. This match, Blade Runner on Cash for the win for the Bang Bang Gang.
Excellent. Great match. I give that 4 guns up.
I got 4.2.
So, as discussed on Basement Booker's Dark, which is where we're in the dark and not on here, and we thought that it would be appropriate that I, Basement Chair, address this match personally. What with my impersonal, made-up relationship with Orange Cassidy. Orange, I know you and I have some pretend grievances. We might have some non-issues. We may not know each other or never know each other. But I may or may not have said some things that were not nice. Your hands in your pockets. I don't think you're a deviant. Okay? You've earned my respect here. You came out here and you come out here. You will continue to come out here, as you have said, week after week and fight and do the Orange Cassidy thing. Well, not necessarily fight because you didn't fight last week, but you're just going to be there. You're going to show up because that's what you do. You're a little banged up. This is your best work here. And Moxley, he put you through it. He put you through the ringer. He destroyed you. I would say he Blackpool Combat Clubbed you, as some would say. And look, you did show some fire doing those kicks. You remember those kicks? He was doing some fire, some real kicks. That's a little growth there. So, Rich, I'm gonna give this a 4 sunglasses, and you go ahead and you take it away. Of course, Mox wins. Whatever.
Yep, I feel like I called Mox winning as soon as they announced it because we know how banged up Orange Cassidy, or at the end of this match, Red Cassidy, has been between the broken hand from hitting
Blood
the
Orange
title
Cassidy.
belt, Blood Orange, the broken hand, all the back issues. He's really been a champion of being a champion for of being a fighting champion. Like every week, this dude's had a match. The fightingest of fighting champions, and
no one's helping him,
right?
Unless it's in a multi-person match,
right? Or unless there is interference, then people come out and help. But he had a really good, strong run with the title. I remember you questioning it early on, but good, solid run. Elevated the title, which at the time was the All Atlantic, which was just a mouthful. That's what she said. Elevating the title, and as soon as they said it was Mox, especially as banged up as Orange Cassidy is, we knew what the outcome was going to be. He put up a good fight. This match went almost 20 minutes. It's a long match, a good match. I like this match. I give it 4.1, so we're not far off there. A new international champion.
Look, I had Orange Cassidy booked to lose the minute it was announced as well. There's only one person Tony Khan likes more than Orange Cassidy, and I would argue it's not more, is John Moxley. Like, it's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think between Mox, Jericho, and Orange Cassidy, those are the pillars of Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
So, as someone who doesn't know anything, just a basement booker over here. Like and subscribe if you like what you heard. I look forward to what's next. What could be next? Is there a rematch? Is Orange Cassidy gonna have to fight his way back up?
I don't know.
I mean,
We're gonna
Mox is
find out.
already a fighting champion. He defended the championship against AR Fox.
Yep.
So, dominated him. It was almost a squash. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, it was hard to watch. Like, Moxley in just a regular Moxley match, and it's not a critique. I'm not saying it's hard to watch because he sucks. I don't think he sucks. I'm just saying, it's hard to watch because he looks like he's really trying to fuck somebody up. Like, part of me feels like he's a guy, if it wasn't for pro wrestling, he'd be in jail. Like, he'd either be in jail or hurt himself from doing some jackass shit. You know what I mean? Because, his threshold for pain is ridiculous. Like, whereas Darby Allin is half dark man, Moxley is full dark man. He's just, all his nerves are dead. He feels no pain. The only way he could do it is have dried spaghetti stuck into his head. Or skewers, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. He's a nut. But yeah, I have already rated this match, and All Out was great. Rich, are we done here?
We're done here. That was quite the event. Lots of matches. 13 matches is a lot.
All out of us. It took it all out of us. But now it's time for some payback.
That's right, bro. WWE Payback, to be exact. Payback was last week. Like I said, we had a long week in wrestling. Just started with Payback, and then it was All Out. We're doing it out of order. It doesn't matter. We had Payback. Payback was big. The opening match was the steel cage match, the first ever for the GOAT, Trish Stratus, one of the GOATs. What did you think of this match? Let's hear from you first.
Mr. Riz, I feel like during this match as a wrestling fan, I was manhandled, slammed into stratisfaction when I watched this match at WWE Payback, brother. It had everything. Trish Stratus wound up with a knot on her head. Like, wow. Like, at one point I was like, it doesn't even look like she's, and then it picked up. I'm like, okay, all right, they're going for it. I don't know. Like, I can't pick really two high spots. Like, what, Trish Stratus hanging upside down
by her knees.
By her knees, that crazy view.
Mm-hmm.
Trish Stratus coming to the ring. And I noticed this when I was watching. Some fan was yelling that Trish was going to get her ass kicked or whatever by Becky.
Mm-hmm.
And Trish Stratus goes over to him, says something, and walks off. He's like, oh! Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what did she say? And an angel from heaven, a formerly Twitter X poster, posted Trish Stratus just walked up to him, and in the best way possible, she says, shut the fuck up, and just walked away. And I fell in love with Trish Stratus yet again.
Mm-hmm.
She's so awesome. She's like this timeless being. She might be part celestial. She's how far along in this life, and she can put many women to shame. It's ridiculous. And she's still cool. like to be able to do all those things and still be cool and just be respected for the work in itself, and like looking like an ageless celestial being is just like an addendum. That's an accomplishment. You need to go into Hall of Fame twice. Hashtag thank you, Trish. There's got to be Hall of Fame twice just for that. You need a new category.
Yeah.
Bump the Warrior Award winner for that year. I don't give a shit. As a matter of fact, this is some Warrior Award level shit. To be able to see this, do you know how many downtrodden people were lifted up by seeing Trish Stratus at Payback against Becky Lynch? A rising tide lifts all boats. Look at Zoe Stark. She went out there. She turned babyface. Got dropped by Shayna Baszler on Monday Night Raw. But Shayna Baszler is the new baddest woman on the planet. You got to think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Every character, it's like a video game, baby. We all got attributes. There's different attributes. It's just that Shayna Baszler had the attribute to kick the shit out of Zoe Stark. And Zoe Stark, I'm still high on Zoe Stark. I think she's good. I liked her at NXT. I like her here because what you see is what you get. And she'll make sure you get all of it. But the winner was Becky. And the man is back. What's next for the man? As Basement Jer predicted, the NXT Women's Championship. Rich Riz, share with the people how you feel about, to me, this 5 out of 5 for me. I got to give it to him. This is a 5 out of 5 match for me. This is a 5. This is a 5 for me.
Very strong match. I'll say 4.9, 4.8, 4.85. 4.85.
I appreciate that.
I did like it a lot. To answer your unasked question, Trish Stratus will turn 48 in December.
Yeah, I just want to leave it alone because it's kind of rude because she's a lady. But okay, that's cool.
She's a superstar. They're all superstars. Superstars genderless unless we talk about intergender matches.
I just finished putting her on a pedestal. I have to white knight this. All right, I don't have a choice. I can't counter my character, Rich Riz. My programming is set in. She's a lady.
My point here is it takes a lot to perform at that level. To do so at 47, almost 48 years old is phenomenal. It just goes to show you, like, if you didn't see Trish Stratus then, Trish Stratus now has not missed a step. This heel run is so good for her. Maybe she's not amazing on the mic as a heel. She is very good on the mic as a face. Maybe she's not amazing on the mic as a heel, but
I like that, though. I like her mic work as a heel. I don't think it's bad at all.
It's good. It's not great. It's very good. It's very strong.
I'm not sipping for Trish Stratus. Don't write that in the comments. I see it. I can read it down there. I'm just acknowledging the celestial being. Thank you, Trish. Thank you, Trish. Thank you. Like
I will say it.
The heavens.
Thank you, Trish.
Yes.
To perform at the level she is performing at is amazing. And the fact that she is obviously getting younger talent over, the way she elevated Zoe Stark. Yes, Zoe lost the one match against the new baddest woman on the planet. Zoe will absolutely recover from this. Zoe will only be better for the entire period of time that she was with Trish Stratus. Becky, let's not gloss over Becky's performance in the match. Becky, of course, was great as well. She always has been. The manhandle slam, I think, was from the top rope for the 1, 2, 3.
Superman handle slam.
That's right. Or an avalanche manhandle slam, as they sometimes call those.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Very strong opener. I loved it.
All right. So here we are going through the same thing. Rich the Riz and Basement Jer picking the proper winner of the match. L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
With John Cena as special guest referee, which was added later. I would say the same night of Payback.
Yep.
I think the day of. Yeah. So, the usual Cena's playing it down the middle. Miz gets a little, and so does LA Knight almost with the, oh my God, I'm going to bump into the guy. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Why I oughta? Hey, man, I'm gonna. And, the whole look at, hey, this shirt, you see this? The stripes with the things and the stripes, you can't, I'll disqualify you. You need to win this, Buttercup. Don't you touch me unless I want you to touch me. And I wouldn't be wearing this referee shirt if I wanted you to touch me. That's why at the ramp, I couldn't wait to get my shirt off when I raised your hand. It's just in case you wanted to, Buttercup, because I'm ready to go anytime. But instead, I raised it up and I did the thing. I gave you the John Cena rub, brother. I did it twice when you won and up here. So I thought I
Yep.
pretty much nailed it there.
Yep, that was the match. BFT, Cena doing the ref thing.
You know what I was thinking? The BFT could be two different things. It could be many things, but I was thinking the other day, blunt force trauma or big fat titties.
Yep.
Just thought that was pretty funny. This is why you gotta pay attention when it says, look, there's about to be some realness in here. Okay. It's not for kids. It says it. We check the box.
Yep. Box has been checked. Next up, the United States Championship. We had the King of Mystery himself, Rey Mysterio, defending against former champion Austin Theory.
A-Town down.
A-Town down.
Not this
A-Town
time.
went down.
Yeah.
Roll up to the A-Town down for the win.
Rich the Riz, Austin Theory hasn't been doing too good in regards to this match. I really don't have much to say about it. A regular Rey Mysterio classic, I believe brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. If I can remember correctly, I think that's what Theory credits with his loss, is that he was distracted by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Who could blame him? Is an L to Mysterio, an L to LA Knight. Are we going back to the basics with Theory? What's going on? What's not clicking here? Is his gimmick maybe not anything really? What needs to happen here, buddy? What do you think?
I think
If
what's
you had
happening.
to basement book Austin Theory.
So that's two different questions. I'm going to answer the other question first. I think what they're doing is they are shifting him into a tag team with Grayson Waller temporarily. Get them on a roll, get them doing something, get them involved with Judgment Day or Sammy and Kevin. We'll see about that. As far as what I think they should do with Austin Theory, maybe give him a couple weeks off, right?
Yeah.
Maybe miss the next pay-per-view, come back immediately after. And do a real Austin Theory thing, attack Rey from behind, or better yet, so they just moved Jay to Raw, so someone from Raw has to come to SmackDown. Theory being a SmackDown guy, obviously he's not going to move, so have him attack Rey from behind. Have Santos get involved. Have Santos sort of attempt to break it up, but accidentally hit Rey, sort of lead to the shift that's going to happen within the LWO, because they got to Legado was too damn good of a faction to just play back up to Rey Mysterio.
Do you know when they jumped the shark? At Payback, those shirts.
Yeah, so why was I feel like
that's another faction that you just made up. Your LWO.
Oh yeah, they were doing PWO, right?
And it looked like NWO.
Yeah.
It's why wouldn't it look like LWO?
It was weird. But also I think it was on
shirts.
Yeah. On SmackDown.
It's all about money, man.
Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro were both wearing the Mexican LWO shirt.
Okay.
Now, Cruz del Toro, I don't know where Cruz del Toro is from, actually, offhand.
No, you did in another episode, and you said that he should have his own color for that. They should have different colors for all the different Spanish nationalities.
Joaquin Wilde is Filipino. I don't know what the Filipino flag looks like, but they should make one for that. You know,
Yeah, there
like
you go.
how much representation have Filipinos had in WWE? None. So, hello, opportunity.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Either way.
Representation is important or whatever.
Well, because if you're going to have one for Puerto Rico for Zelina Vega, right? And you're going to have one for Mexico for Santos and Ray.
And Carlito, I think Carlito's still coming, guys. He's still coming, guys. He's signed. He's coming. He's on the back burner, guys. He's still since July, dudes.
That would be great. I heard a rumor today. Just off topic briefly. Speaking of signings, I see you look on your face. You're like, don't make this episode any longer.
Oh, I'm just trying to emote. I'm
Okay.
like, what's happening? What is this a surprise here? It's also hunger. It's hunger.
Yeah. Okay. So there are rumblings that secretly signed AOP.
Yeah, I heard they've been signed for NXT with Ellering.
Interesting.
The package, yeah.
So they need a mouthpiece for sure. NXT, they definitely run through them all. I don't know why they wouldn't put
Ellering's
him
still
on.
around, right? Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I say, oh my God, no.
I don't know why they wouldn't put him on the main roster. They had brought them up to the main roster.
Yeah, but there might be a reason why they didn't go anywhere.
Because they didn't have Ellering.
That's true.
Ellering
That's right. They broke him up. He went up there with Seth, basically.
And they broke Ellering out because he didn't want to do all the traveling.
Yeah. They were maybe that's why they started to NXT.
Why don't they just get another mouthpiece for him?
Because they're probably like, we're not doing it without Ellering. You know? And it worked with him before, but it's like he's older now. He's a lot older now than he was before. How's that going to work? And yeah, I understand. That's why the travel, because he's an older gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, if anyone paid the dues, it's damn Paul Ellering.
Yeah, but like,
Pretty Paul.
He needs the money, but they should really be taking care of him.
Yeah.
Then again, I don't know what their relationship is, like how much he's done with them wrestling wise with his body, you know.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's a little bit different than talent, I guess. But talent is talent. Anyway, this is too long. I'm sorry, Jerry. Next match, please. This next match was scheduled for one fall, and it would have to be, without a doubt, the dumbest idea Kevin Owens has had in a long time. And let me tell you why. Because the tag team champions are no longer the tag team champions. Because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who are just two guys, decided that there should be a stipulation that benefits two guys, a turd, and the world heavyweight women's champion.
And Dom. Unless Dom was the turd.
Dom was the turd.
And then I should say
Roblox.
And yeah, JD McRoblox.
Yeah, but you had to have it. You came up with it. So you go ahead and say it again.
JD McRoblox.
Uninterrupted, because that's his baby. So regardless of that, you literally had no friends and you get into this. Like, what possessed you? I get it. This is your thing. You feel like the best way for you to do your thing is in this environment. I get it. This is also kind of Sammy's thing, but I think you guys are more than that also. Like, I think you guys are great in the ring, like in regular wrestling matches, but I understand what's happened here. This is to protect you guys, but it's like, I feel like the guys that beat the longest reigning WWE the first undisputed WWE champions should have had like more like credible defenses against tougher opponents before losing it to these guys like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
hard to disagree.
That's what hurt my heart. That's why I didn't rank too high. It was only because of my feelings about it. It has nothing to do with the work rate of any of the people involved in the match, and that goes for every match. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to state that, but I wasn't happy with it. I didn't like it. I really was rooting for them. This match got to me, and there we go. You got the new champions. Now Judgment Day is just Bloodline Light. They got their own little backstage area now. It's Bloodline Light. I don't care what anybody says. It's Bloodline Light, especially because all the gold is in the Intercontinental Championship. All the gold is the big championship, the one that Seth has. The Money in the Bank briefcase, be it purple or green, whether you switch the contracts or not, Finn Balor or JD McDonough, Mick Roblox. Oh, I'm ready. We're on to you. We're on to you. Just in case you try to pull some shit. Okay, we're on to you. Rich Deriz is on to you, and I'm on to you. Okay, so like I was saying, that's not the World Heavyweight Championship. That is not the Seth Rollins Please Don't Go Championship. So every time you say all the gold, you get into me and you get into Rich because we got like, no, you don't. No, you don't because there's 2 other belts. No, you don't. Recently, we've got the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in Gunther, the Ring General. What do you have? The Undisputed Tag Team Championships. You know what? I get it. They're confusing the North American Championship with the Intercontinental Championship. That's not the mid-card championship for this show, buddy. Right. That's the mid-card championship for WWE College. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's what that is. No disrespect to the fine men and women. Prayers for Von Wagner on NXT. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I took up so much of that time. It's just I was very inflamed over this match.
What do you give? What rating do you give the match?
I gave it a 3. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
because
so
like I said, it wasn't the work rate. It was. I wasn't happy with it. That's all.
I hear you. I give it a higher rating. First, I'll tell you why. Because due to the no disqualification nature of a street fight, whatever additives you want to add on to the name of street fight, Philadelphia, Steel City, Broadway, blah, 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 street fight, whatever.
It's the Steel City. Did you know?
Yeah.
They were dressed like hockey players.
Yeah.
They changed their clothes, Rich.
They did. So that was good.
Was okay. Yeah.
But like all the outside stuff was within the parameters of the match. So it was not considered and cannot be considered interference. It has to be considered as part of the match. So because of that, I take the entire match as a whole, not putting an asterisk of, well, it was 5-on-2. I give that match a 4.3 out of 5. Much higher rating than you, obviously.
But that was my point, was it? Mm. Wasn't it? That storyline-wise, Kevin Owens asking for this match, that put them at a disadvantage right away. That doesn't take away from that's the reason. I'm going in the parameters of the story. Like I felt like that was not a smart move from Kevin Owens.
I agree, but we're not rating Kevin Owens' decision. We're rating the match.
Yeah, and the match is a story. There's a story in the match, and I didn't like it.
Okay.
I just went through this whole thing about how it bothered me emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
I was in on it, so that's why it got the rating it got. Like I gave a whole explanation for this.
You did.
I got to be thorough. Mm-hmm. Rock hard, like Juice Robinson.
Whatever he does.
For like a second.
I could never pull off that hair.
Dude, for a second,
mm-hmm.
Jake Hager was being announced as Rock Hard Jake Hager.
That's true.
For like a second. And then it stopped. And I think that's why. You can only have one Rock Hard guy. I'm sorry, dude. I'm the Rock Hard one. Obviously, I have the charisma. And you have the so-so Bellator.
Yeah, Tony Storm was probably like, actually,
Tony Storm is the main reason. Like this doesn't come from nothing. This confidence, it came from somewhere. It's too powerful.
Yep.
All right.
Juice Robinson, Jack Perry. Who else?
So far, the similar hair.
Yeah. But, hotties on the other end.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be like this rock starness to them, this false rock starness, like wrestling rock staritude.
Yeah.
On to the next segment.
Yeah, the only one that hasn't gotten to is Buddy, who as we know, is in a long-term relationship with the champ, Rhea Ripley.
Also, longish hair. He can.
Mm-hmm.
He has the ability if he
Yeah.
wanted to, if he was so inclined. You know,
Mm-hmm.
good pulls all around. This match, not the best from these two. I really think there's more to them. Like, I don't think this was their best match. Not by a long shot. It's something wasn't clicking here. But yeah, there was no question in our minds that Rhea Ripley was going to walk in there and walk out with the championship.
Mm-hmm.
The right psychology was worked in. There's really nothing else you can do here.
So I don't disagree that it's not their best match, but I feel like it was the right match for the story because, of course, the story is Raquel's injured knee. I feel like what they're doing with Raquel, she's not going to win either of the women's singles championships because they want to continue the story of her and Liv being a tag team.
Oh,
So whenever Liv gets back from her injury, I think she's still injured from that Dakota Kai spot, maybe, or from after. I don't remember exactly. Or
maybe.
maybe it's just storyline at this point. I don't even know.
I
It's
think
well
she's,
documented on. It's well documented on this podcast that my memory is absolute shit.
dude. We just off the dome shit. That's a part of the fun. It's really a hangout. Like when we hung out in the basement days, do
Mm-hmm.
we bring research? Do like, hey, let me look that up on my phone? No, we didn't do that because we couldn't.
Right. But either way, I did again. I like this match for what it was. The story of the injured knee had to be told. 4.3. 4.3 for this match. We had, of
Jesus
course, a
Christ.
distraction by Dom.
Yeah.
And still.
Here's my thing. What I thought, and you're probably right. I didn't think about the tag team aspect because it's like they put as much care into that tag team as I do. That division.
Mm-hmm.
Like Piper Niven is sick right now. Just burn those belts. Put them in the fire. Just treat them like your hobbits. Just go and toss them into the fires of Mount Doom. It's the only way to cleanse the evil. Basically, back to my point. I'm thinking this is similar to Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley 1. Raquel Gonzalez at that time went too soon against Rhea Ripley. She didn't make sure she was fully healed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the story. There's still questions. Would a fully healed Raquel Gonzalez beat Rhea Ripley? So that's yet to be told. So I think we're going to see that again. I think that's more likely than, hey, remember the tag team? It's Raquel Gonzalez and Liv Morgan. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And look, they're both former tag team partners of Liv Morgan. That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
a good impression of us in the future.
that's right.
For me, this was a 2.
Oof.
For the reasons that I said. It's not like it's hey, come on. I'm just a mark, man. Come on. You could listen. It's like if they went and looked back at a Basement Bookers podcast episode, I don't care what number, and they were to like rate it, they probably do like a 2 or a 1, and I would also be like, I'd Ralph Wiggum right now. I'd be like Ralph Wiggum. If they go to Raquel Rodriguez over here, formerly known as Raquel Gonzalez, and Rhea Ripley, they're like, look at these assholes. Look what they said about you.
Mm-hmm.
How about you review them? And then Rhea Ripley be like, I don't rate dickheads. And then I'm all like, ugh. And then Raquel Rodriguez, she's like, a 0. Was it? There's no number for these guys. And I'm like, full Ralph Wiggum. I'm like, like that. That's what would happen. All right. So let's move on before I get sad. I think that's perfect. More.
Mm-hmm. So I know we're all set up with the image of the main event right down there. Before we get to that, we had 2 talk segments, one of which was a quick little mark out moment for me. We had kind of John Cena, but more Lance Catamaran interviewing the brand new tag team champions, Finn Balor, Damian Priest. That was a fun little moment, wasn't it?
I thought it was. It was almost rumored that they said he was channeling his inner Lance Catamaran.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
Yeah.
should have just let it happen. The reels know there's a way to be like, yeah, some Southpaw wrestling right over there, or whatever. Oh my God, I love Southpaw wrestling. That's I don't. If it's probably on the Peacock, formerly on the WWE Network. I would check that out. So fun. John Cena being like a Vince McMahon type commentator guy. And it was Fandango was his partner. I forgot what his name was. Rich, do you remember what his name was? He was like really sad or
Ooh.
something. I know, right? Now we look like idiots. You know what?
Well, because see, thing is, in my head, I was going to the losses to AEW from Southpaw, including I don't remember Renee's name on Southpaw, but Renee.
Yeah,
And
Renee, who was the ex-wife of Fandango's character, who's on commentary with John Cena, who's always sad.
right, so good.
Dude.
Also,
love that.
I saw some footage of like early AEW, and I completely forgot the Gallows and Anderson were there.
For like a minute because of the TNA stuff, right? Because
Was that why?
they were the Good Brothers, and there was the crossover. Unless they were there, because in the video game, in the Fight Forever, they're featured in a song where they're talking about being good brothers. So there had to have been at some point.
Unless
Go
that
ahead if
comes
you know
from
in the
unless that comes
comments
from
or
the
whatever.
unless
Yeah.
that comes from the Bullet Club stuff with New Japan, because that could be either or.
Dude, there's so many possibilities that this long boy can't contain. We're
Right.
talking about 2 hours just about of Basement Booker's beef, bro. This is some beef, bro. We're giving some beef to the Bookerverse.
A lot of meat.
That's right. But the opposite of meat here, the Waller effect, right?
Grayson Waller.
With Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Jey Uso is on Raw now. Quote,
It's just him, Oos.
Yeah, it's just me, Oos. Day 1-ish.
Yeah. They just kept that.
I don't hate it. It's kind of lazy, but I like it. It's weird. I don't know.
It's very
face. Yeah, it's like it kind of reminds me of like, you know how like everything used to be a rap?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that, like really positive, you know, very like bright colors.
Yep.
You know, high top fades kind of thing. I was thinking, like, is he just before I forgot he was main event Jey Uso? I was gonna call him. Is he gonna be? Is just me Jey Uso? But is it gonna be just main event Jey Uso?
I
Just
like
Jey
me.
for sure.
Yeah, just Jey.
Just
I
Jey.
like just Jey.
You know what? Because listen, main event Jey Uso was a name that was given to him.
Yep.
But just Jey Uso, that's yours, Jey.
And Uso means brother.
That's
so
right, dude.
If it's
You're
just him,
brother.
If it's just him, what brother are we talking about? It's just Jey. It should be just Jey.
It's just Jey.
Mm-hmm.
Just Jey, dude.
And speaking of music, I like Jimmy's new music.
It's a little bit more. So, I don't know if this is in my mind, but are there is one's Titantron more red and the other one's more blue than the other with Jey and Jimmy?
Jimmy's is red, similar, more similar to Bloodline stuff.
And Jay's is bluish, right?
I think so.
That's kind of cool contrast.
Yeah.
All right, we're talking about it. We got to talk about this.
If we're wrong, we're idiots, but whatever. We know that.
This is what the fuck is going on with the bloodline? Like, I'm twisted up, bro. I'm sorry. I got to admit this. I know
Mhm.
you're on the island and you really can't say stuff as loud as me because I'm here, like in America.
Mhm.
So like me being an American and all, I was thinking like this doesn't make any fucking sense. Because first Jay was like, I'm out, you know,
Mhm.
and then he's like, I don't want you to turn into Roman so you can't pin him. But now he's like, I'm in though.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know what to do with this. Like,
That's
I'm
Jimmy.
confused.
Mhm. So I mean, I could tell you from the island.
Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah. Um, as you see, it's still peaceful, right? The turmoil is gone. Right now, Roman is deliberating. He's talking to the elder chiefs. They are discussing the situation. There's no actual drama at the moment, but there are talks about how this will be handled within the family.
Are you overhearing anything about the fact that the Judgment Day are claiming that the bloodline is crumbling? And two, the Judgment Day served up AJ Styles after his victory over Jimmy Uso as a sacrificial lamb to Solo.
I haven't heard anything about that yet. I did hear Roman's reaction to the Judgment Day's claims, and I can tell you 100%, he chuckled. So I think we know where that stands.
Now it's time, since we've addressed the bloodline,
Mm-hmm.
stay away from LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins in the main event for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Literally everything that matters on the Basement Bookers podcast. We already know about my disappointment that Shinsuke Nakamura once again couldn't just give an extra 25 seconds or so. He just couldn't give extra. He couldn't swim in the deep water. But fortunately for Shinsuke Nakamura, this isn't over. It looks like this Seth Rollins might lose a championship soon. Not, it wasn't going to be here. In no way, shape, or form did I think that Seth was going to lose. At no point, even after the really, really dope intro that Shinsuke had, I
Mm-hmm.
love that stuff.
That
Like,
was great. I
feel
really
like
liked it a
Jared's
lot.
marking out for that. Yeah, like, dude, that was incredible. Chef's kiss. I love good art, but it just wasn't going to happen for Shinsuke.
Mm-hmm. And for the record, I did take Google Translate to Seth's back tattoo. Should have done it on air last week, but hey, whatever. That back tattoo that Shinsuke is talking about, saying that Seth isn't living up to it, Seth's back tattoo says loyalty.
He's not living up to loyalty. In what way is he not loyal to Shinsuke?
I feel like we're gonna hear more of the story from Shinsuke himself, and I'm okay with this.
All right, all right. What is next? Is it Survivor Series?
There's something before Survivor Series, I believe. Let me
No
take a
Mercy or
look.
something? No, that's
No
NXT. No
Mercy is
Mercy. Right?
NXT. I'm
Yeah.
scrolling. After No Mercy is Fastlane.
All right. So I'm ready for Fastlane. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins at Fastlane.
Mm-hmm.
That's gotta be it. Rate this match. Personal. Look, I took this personal. Obviously, this cost me. Not only did it cost me the basement championship, like it really made me think about a lot of things, like how, like I see the world, how I approach things. And it really took something away from me because I was really proud of being the messiah of the tiebreaker. And it wasn't until I kept bragging about it that it happened in a tiebreaker. And that really puts things into perspective.
Do you want to be angrier?
No, but you know what? Since you brought it up, we might as well let's do this right now.
So since my tiebreaker guess was 26 minutes and your tiebreaker guess was 26 and a half minutes, Shinsuke only had to last, and the match went 26 minutes, 5 seconds. 10 more seconds would have been a tie. 11 more seconds, you would have won.
I try not to think about things, but you're right. And now Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't know it, but we now have a feud. It is a feud that will not end until I forget about it. And you don't know when that's going to be. It could be next week. It could be tomorrow. It could be 5 minutes from now. But at the end of the day, I respect you, Shinsuke Nakamura, but I fucking hate you. You ruined my life. You ruined my life. Like, I don't have a lot of stuff. Being the messiah of the tiebreaker, that was nice. That was a nice thing to have. But I can't have nice things because Shinsuke Nakamura could. All right. So, personally, I give this a 2. I give this a 2. 1 for Seth Rollins and 1 for Shinsuke Nakamura. All things being equal.
Okay. I gave this match a 4.8. This was a good match. It told the story. It told the story well. It told the story consistently. There were times I was legit concerned about Seth's damn broken back. Well done. Loved it.
Dude, I'm no mathematist.
I know.
But if you want, you could take my 2 and turn it into a 0.2, and you could put it with your 4.8, and you could have yourself a 5. And I have it a big, fat 0. Ha ha ha.
Good Seth laugh.
Thank you. That was the point.
Love it.
All right. Overall review of Payback. I gotta say, Payback delivered. Payback was the right amount of time, judging from the length of this episode, and also my sanity. So really, it is personal. Payback, I'm sorry. Maybe for the young kids, it's okay to have 19 matches on a wrestling show. But I'm 40-ish. I'm going to need some shorter shows. That's too much. I need one sitting, bro. I can't do part 1, part 2. Jesus Christ.
It's a lot.
So, yeah. Rich, you want to,
My rating for the Payback overall, I think I'm going 4.6.
I give it a 5. I give it a 5 because it would normally be like a 4.6, but it's a 5 because All Out was the same weekend. And that shit was too fucking long.
That shit was too fucking long.
I'm sorry I'm old, but
all AEW pay-per-views go long.
Did we need all that? We could have just broken it up. That's like weeks of TV. If you think of each one as like a main event of a show or something, right? You could spread it out like butter on toast, Tony.
He's still learning. All right, well, we've given our ratings for All Out and for Payback. Let us know what you thought of the shows, All Out, Payback. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Hit us up. The link tree's down below. Hit us up in the comments. Of course, his email. Everything's in the link tree except Instagram, Basement Bookers Pod on Instagram.
It's a ghost town. Subscribe to the YouTube. I'm tired.
Yeah, and Jared's got a party message.
The match of life is scheduled for 1 fall. So make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the bookers. And please, if you like this video, give us the like. It costs nothing. Hit the subscribe button. And you'll always know when we're around because the Basement Bookers podcast is your hookup. Holler if you hear us. That's not the catchphrase. We don't have one. But that's Rich DeRiz, the man right there. Thank you, Rich DeRiz, for coming. I'm Basement Chair, together with the Basement Bookers podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Rich already gave you the lowdown. And one more time, big happy birthday to the first non-relative supporter, not like first person to really get it and every episode. Manny, happy birthday again, and thank you for being a true Basement Bookers listener and YouTube watcher.
Thank you for
Appreciate
support,
that.
Manny.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.